Hi, this is Ashish from Obmondo. Today I'm going to show you a demo of installing a Kubernetes cluster, one that comes with network-based networking and key cloak server as well. So let's run this quick demo and see how it turns out. So basically, when you try to install a Kubernetes cluster, you have to glue the Terraform, cluster API, ArgoCD, secrets, monitoring, and then you have to wire them together by hand and then make sure that it runs forever. KubeAid CLI collapsed that into one flow. It's a GitOps-native bootstrapper from Obmondo. It provisions the cloud, wires up ArgoCD, and hands you a cluster whose entire stack lives in Git. We'll take it from zero to a live cluster on Hetzner Cloud and tear it back down in just a few minutes. KubeAid CLI help. So we have these many options. So let's generate config. We need to generate two files, general.yaml and secret.yaml. So we'll generate the config of the new network cluster that we want to create. So let's go. So it gives us an option which Kubernetes clusters do we want to set up, and it has automatically picked up the latest KubeAid tag, which we can look up here, which it is. And you can download the KubeAid CLI if you want to from here, from one of the assets. So let's go with the basics. The balanced one, Hetzner network demo Obmondo. Over here, we can see that it's trying to ask what kind of Kubernetes cluster you want to set up, whether it's like your workload cluster or is it like a network cluster. So right now, we're going to create a network cluster. And in here, if you have your existing key clock cluster, you can just attach to it, or else you can just create it. In this demo, I'm just going to go ahead and create it. Let's give a name, something like key clock dot network.obmondo.com, and we can make this as VPN. The rest we can keep it same. So this is a Netbird mesh DNS zone. Basically, when you are connected to Netbird, so you can actually access any of the apps that you have, like ArgoCD. You can basically access directly by typing ArgoCD dot whatever is the zone name. In this case, I'm gonna name it Netbird.obmondo.com, and this needs to be created manually. We'll see. And so let's go. I'm gonna create this on Edge Cloud. And of course, you have to generate an API token. I already have it. And then the next question is, do you want to have high availability on your control plane? In this case, no, I just want one single control plane. And then, yeah, so we need a read-only key, so ArgoCD can read the Git repository, and we have to give the Git repository name. So let's just generate a key first, ssh key gen. And let's just copy it here. Demo print this and copy the private key here. And then this is a config repository where you're gonna write your own config. So I've already created one, and you can just create a simple repository. The directory structures are simple, just need to create its directory, and that's about it. And oops, let's just copy it again, and there we go. And it shows us a summary what the Kubernetes cluster is going to look like when it's ready. And we find it. Do you want Obmondo support? No. And then we can see that it has created two files here, general.yaml. Let's just press on this. So the first is how we're gonna access the Git repositories, and then the URL is the KubeAid repository, and this is the one that we have our own config repository. This is some settings for the clusters, how it is going to look like, and you can see it's gonna create some realms on key clock, and this is the zone for the netbird, and this is for the ArgoCD, and this is for the kube-prometheus that is going to install on this cluster, and some extra flags for API server as well. And this is the infrastructure part where it's going to install a node on the Hetzner Cloud and a bunch of settings.